Hello there. I'm Levi. This is Maurice. You can find me at EL-SCRIBBLER. You can find him at Big Daddy Mo. Yeah.
I'm not Big Daddy Mo no more. We're just,
I said
Levi
we can
Maurice.
find you at Big Daddy Mo. I included that. Come on.
True.
I included that. All right. So, The Last of Us?
Yep. Left Behind, the episode based on the DLC.
All right. So, I know what my thoughts.
Stop. Remember what I said when I texted you last night.
Yeah.
I'm going to agree with you. So throw your thoughts out there.
Actually, we already all know what my thoughts are. Right? I have since day one of playing that DLC content. I absolutely despise that DLC content. I always said it served no purpose for the story. It didn't help flush out any characters. It was really just bait for people who absolutely love the game to play it and enjoy more aspects of a character they really liked. I always said
What's wrong with that though?
For a game, that's fine. It's fine for a game. But the problem is, my mind. I always think of things through like a visual lens, how it would be in storytelling. And in storytelling, this I already knew from a fact of while I was playing the game that it was an absolutely pointless, completely unnecessary aspect of the whole thing. I hated it. But I got to say, watching it, because you told me you would agree with me, I felt vindication watching it because I had complained about the DLC and you always tried to back it.
For people who don't know what vindication means, let them know.
So it just means I feel like I was justified in my actions, my hate, my despisal of the DLC for so long, because now everyone sees what I have seen. Everyone sees how pointless it really was because it didn't add anything to Ellie's character, did it? It didn't add anything to her story. It adds so much fluff, which could have literally been cut down to 5 or 10 minutes and done as a cold open and would have been much more entertaining.
All right. So, while I was sitting on the mighty throne, if you know what I mean, I was talking to Fox. And we're all three of us are in agreement because this is the thing. I was one of those people that love the DLC. I fucking love it. The thing about the episode is, bro, it's just them having fun in the mall.
It's the DLC.
You know yeah, but the thing is with the DLC was we were going back and forth. So there was two.
Yeah,
so
she was running through the mall.
It was two versions of the mall, though. The first version is her going through the mall for supplies to help Joe, and she's running into clickers, runners, raiders, all that. But then also, we're reminiscing about the time that she actually had fun in the mall. But so we have her first time in the mall with Riley, where she gets bit, and she's enjoying everything that she's never enjoyed before. And then we're back to present day, to where now she's on her own, trying to do things, scavenge supplies for Joe. But in the show, it's just them in the mall. It's just them having fun. This episode was just so much filler, and I'm just like, wow, they did good adapting, all the moments they had in the mall. I was just like, bro, this is just an hour of y'all playing games and shit in the mall.
That's how I felt about the DLC.
Just like, well, fuck that. That was that. I loved every bit. I loved all the jokes.
Because you were playing the characters.
Everything about the deal. Exactly.
You were playing the characters.
But when you're watching it, you're just like,
yeah, and
okay,
that was
Joel is dying. Now we're just watching two girls have fun in the mall.
Yeah, that's how when I played the game, that's what I visualized. I visualized just two people having fun, and I'm like, I'm not here to see a slice of life. As interesting as it would be to see a slice of life in a post-apocalyptic, that's not what The Last of Us is about. So, gosh, I freaking have a gnat in here, bugging me. Sorry, it's flying around my face. Literally, just it's attracted to the light, and the brightest light in my room is literally right in front of my face. Sorry.
I'm glad I have shitty lighting.
Yeah, it's all over the place in there. Yeah, but it's just I never liked it in the first place. But the fact that I was finally proven right, because the only thing that was really fun about the DLC is the part where she's fighting off David's men in the mall, trying to scavenge without Joel. That stuff was fun, but it really, in the end, didn't serve a purpose because still everything happened. I think they're going to include that part along with the next episode. Where she's fighting in the mall. They're going to probably include that because they didn't show her in Riley dying. They didn't include that part yet. They ended it.
They probably won't. The next episode,
well, remember,
the next episode is her going against David.
But she also said she's killed someone before.
Maybe, hopefully they bring that up.
Because the person she killed was
they'll bring that up.
Riley.
Maybe they'll bring that up in the ending. You know, when she's telling her speech to Joel about her and Riley.
Yeah.
You know, it's right when they get ready to go back to Tommy. Maybe we'll get that scene. But see, I'm not even gonna lie. When I saw that they was gonna do this episode, I kind of already knew. I'm like, I got a feeling this is gonna be the episode I'm not gonna care for the most. I already knew that from the beginning. Because like I said, it was some nice DLC. I enjoyed it. I mean, again, you're playing, and of course I gotta throw some action in there. But for an episode, nah. Nah.
Yeah, because I didn't think the romance was at all there. Did you feel like there was a connection between them both? I didn't.
A little bit. I felt something.
I preferred the connection where she's basically, because seeing it made me feel like it wasn't real. Beforehand, when she was talking about it with the way she would act in regards to losing someone she cared about, you know, that I felt was more real than seeing them together. I was just like, it just didn't add anything to the story. And it bothered me because, like, with Bill, you at least got a fun episode. You had a beginning, middle, end. You had their own action sequence. You had their own story. With Riley and...
That was still a filler too, though.
Yeah, but with Riley and Ellie, there is really no story there. They were, like... Riley was completely dumb. She was making pipe bombs, but saying she wasn't going to kill Ellie, like she had a choice, like they're going to listen to her. Like every single argument Ellie had was, I kept feeling like Riley is a complete moron. And it's just like, what the heck is going on? The only thing, I'm trying to think of anything about this episode that I actually found good.
I did like that they actually played the video game instead of imagining it.
Yeah, they showed.
The Mortal Kombat 2, I really did like that.
Yeah, but it was just like, I'm trying to find something in this episode that was actually worth it. What there actually had any point? I mean, even episode 6 carried the story on a little further. Even though Joel pulled the freaking bat out of his stomach like some moron, it lets you know that Joel's wounded. This one, we already know Joel's wounded. This one didn't do anything.
What pisses me off about this episode more than anything is the fact that we only have 9 episodes.
Yeah.
We only have 9 episodes, and then y'all just throw in the filler that doesn't really do much.
Yeah.
I'm just like, man. And one, I hate that they gave us 9 episodes. Why an odd number? Just throw in 10. If y'all gave us 10, I wouldn't be so mad at this episode. I wouldn't be so mad at the Bill and Frank episode, even though the episode was amazing. But I wouldn't be so mad. I wouldn't be mad like, damn it, we got 2 full episodes.
You start thinking about it in the in the order of how many of them are actually vital to the story. There's episode 1, episode 2. You can chalk out episode 3. You can chalk out episode 4. You jump straight to episode 5 with Sam and Henry.
4, you can keep that, maybe just shorten that down, like maybe to like 20 minutes, and then throw that, put that in with episode 5 with Sam and Henry.
But that's the exact same thing.
I felt like that was a good episode because it. And you know, it's funny. Okay, they brought up his hearing, but his hearing only affected one thing, and that was when Sam and Henry got the jump on him.
Yeah.
That was really about it.
But that's why they introduced it at the beginning of the episode, which is one thing that bothers me, that they're literally doing everything at the beginning. Like, what is it? The weekly villain, like old sitcom series where like the Superman show, where there'd be one villain during that episode, and then they capture him at the end. Oh, I happen to have bad hearing. And then it happens to come up at the very end. I mean, I don't like that kind of writing. It's very lazy. It works for like a sitcom or like a long-standing series, like freaking Smallville or something like The Flash that's going on with like hundreds of thousands of episodes, like Green Arrow. But when something is planned out, pre-planned out, and you literally introduce the one thing at the beginning of the episode just to have it be relevant at the end, you should have introduced it a few episodes back. You could have introduced it a few episodes back. With Tess making a comment about something like that. There's a lot of things they could have done to just make it more relevant instead of making it like a last-minute addition that makes it feel like, oh, they didn't really plan this part through. They just threw it in because they wanted to make it seem relevant somehow. So there are these little things here and there which are bothering me. And the fact that it's like you can literally skip the majority of it and watch like 2 minutes of episode 5, probably 5 minutes of 2 minutes of episode 6, 5 minutes of episode 4, and skip 3, skip 7. And it's just aggravating. There's like, because it was so good in the beginning. They set the bar so high with introducing freaking the cold opens with a whole other side of the world. The fact that we're learning about how this fungus is spreading. We're getting the terror in these first few minutes of the scene. We're learning more about the world. And then we get to episode 3 and it's like, okay, it's not about Joel and Ellie, so they're going to throw out the cold open. They're not going to have it. And then they just get rid of it entirely. And they kind of got rid of the one thing that was working for them. Because now those of us who have played the game, who are now forced to watch this sludge of a show, which literally most of it is filler, it's aggravating because we don't even get the exciting part of learning more about the world. We're literally getting not only, like in the last episode, not only what we've already seen, but 3 chapters condensed into one episode. It's aggravating.
What episode? 3 chapters. What episode was that?
The dam, the village, the university. 3 chapters all condensed into one episode.
Well, the dam. Did we need the dam? What was going on with the dam? I don't think the dam had anything going on.
Well, that's where they were fighting the raiders, which led them into the village where they are saved by Tommy.
You don't always have to. You don't always have to fight raiders and all that.
I know, but it's just like
at some point though, is David looking for them because they killed the one person at the university?
Yes, that's what it is now.
In the game, remember, I have my men searching for supplies, my men, and then all of a sudden, they got killed. So they killed numerous people. Just one, but I mean, I don't know. They can still do that because it's just like my guy, what I'm saying, my friend got killed by this little girl and this old guy, so they can still do that. But I don't know. I'm still enjoying it, but the fact that it's 9 episodes and then episode 3 filler, episode 7 while adapted good filler, complete filler.
Yeah. So
and then they rushed the university scene, which I really they rushed the university chapter, which I really love that scene where Joel is struggling and they fucking the bat come out was just stupid.
Yeah.
The fact that with the Left Behind, instead of, like I said, they could have just easily had it the way they had it in the DLC, which are going back and forth between present and past, would have made this episode so much better.
But I don't think
get to it
really would have helped it at all. I mean, sure, the back and forth would have been nice, where she's having a standoff gunfight near the center where a freaking merry-go-round is going, and then she has a clip of that.
You know what we could have did? We could have not even had this episode. You could have cut to where we think Joel is dying, and then guess what they do? They did it exactly like the way the game is. You pick up some time later, and it's now Ellie on her own. Guess what? Everybody thinks Joel is dead. Come back. Guess what? Joel is still alive. She's scavenging. And then you probably could have threw in Left Behind as like some extra shit, like
cold open,
like a fucking bonus episode, like maybe a month or 2 after the show is over, like they did with the game. That way the story is still moving forward, and then the Left Behind shit, it's just something extra for people to watch. Boom. Yeah, because people the DLC, you didn't have to get the DLC. The DLC does not even really help out the story. It's just some extra shit, some extra stuff to see what she was talking about with Riley. That's really all it is. So y'all could have still could have kept it moving. Could have just did it with the whole, like I said, cut to a few days later, and it's Ellie trying to take care of Joel.
Yeah, because that's one thing that was fun in the game, because it's like it says 6 months later. Literally, it like cuts to 6 months later, or like 3 months later. They're still in the snow. Because there was no snow at the beginning. Remember? When in the university, there was no snow. He gets hit by the freaking rebar. He has to get pulled out of it by Riley helping him out. Ellie helping him out, and then we skip 6 months later. It's snowy. We don't know what's going on. What happened to Joel? Because
was it really 6 months later?
Yeah, I believe it's 6 months later. If I remember correctly, you're the one that played the game. Like, it was
15
some time.
Times. It was some time later.
Yeah,
if it was 6 months later, that nigga would have been dead.
No, not really. Not really. You seal a wound, but he probably would have been dealing with like freaking fevers and crap because they would have. Because I think she was looking for what was it?
Antibiotics.
Antibiotics, yeah, and that's what the DLC was about. She was hunting for the antibiotics at the mall.
I like how in that game, the second he get now the nigga able to run around, shoot people, fight people.
Yeah,
like, come on.
But you think he's dead, and it would have been nice to kind of keep that, because in the game, like if they would have started that off, like you were saying, in the next episode was her alone, people who didn't play the game would be like, oh my gosh, she's alone now. She has to deal with everything. Because I remember playing that, and I was scared, because even when you played as Joel as the main character, I felt like I had some comfort because Ellie would run around and jump on these people's backs and just start stabbing like double X. Yeah. It was X-23. It was amazing. I absolutely enjoyed that because I felt safe. And all of a sudden,
remember in the last episode, she's like, oh, you gonna teach me how to hunt rabbits and all that? Mm-hmm. And then guess how you start the episode? You see your rabbit, and then boom, it's Ellie hunting and killing that motherfucker.
Yep. It's like there are so many little things that would have built the tension. It would have made the world seem so much darker because now you visually see Ellie alone in the wilderness, in the cold. She's learning to survive alone off of what Joel had taught her. So there is kind of a connection to Joel when you think for that hour and a half of, I remember playing that chapter. You were alone the entire time. Alone the entire time. It's not till the very end where it cuts to the house and you realize Joel is getting up for the first time in forever. So it's just like,
I'm not gonna lie, that whole chapter when you're playing as Ellie is just intense.
Yeah,
it's because
you're a little girl.
You're a little girl with a little bitty knife. Yes, you have a gun, but it's just like you can't really fight off these dudes. The entire time you're sneaking through, you have to jump on their back and just. I can't wait to finish playing this. Foxen already beat it, and I'm getting ready to replay it, and before the show is over. Like, hey, we decided to play it at the same time and just start a party on PS4, and then his bitch ass is gonna sit there and play it, just play it without me. Like,
of course,
because the game is, I ain't gonna lie, the game a little scary at times, so I could have used somebody on the other end.
Yeah,
I mean, you can always join.
No, I'm good. I did my time on the game. I don't need to do it again.
You have to play it at least 3 times. It's mandatory to at least beat it 3 times.
I have my favorite games, and sadly, The Last of Us ain't one of them. Of course, my favorite games are from before that time. Yeah. But it's just that the episode could have, not existed for one. It feels like it's taking so much because, like how much you loved the Left Behind. Is that what it is called? Yeah. That DLC was because you had already beaten the game, and then you get something extra. It's that little bit of spice added to the meal that just makes it a little more. It was a dessert after the meal.
Yep, exactly.
We haven't even finished the meal, and we're given something bland. It's like giving no, not a cookie. Have you ever had one of those plain donuts? A plain donut before? You have one? They have no taste. It's like you're eating bread, but not really.
We're not even talking about the glazed donut. No. We're talking about just a regular plain donut.
The donut that has no glaze, no frosting, no nothing, no sugar. It's just.
What's the point? What's the point of those?
I don't know. So it's just, that's literally what this was. It's like you're in the middle of you're eating your meal and someone forces you to swallow that plain donut. It's not going to go well with the rest of the meal now. Does this work for you? Does the visual help you?
I mean, I was legit just sitting there thinking, okay, so I'm enjoying my little Caesars, this slice and sticks. You get 8 Italian cheese breads, 4 slices of pizza. And then somebody come at me with I'm trying to get some advertisement here. Maybe I can get oh yeah, endorse him. He could be the face of Little Caesars. But no, I'd be mad as fuck if somebody sat there and told me to eat this donut right quick while I'm sitting there enjoying this pizza. Damn.
Yeah, it doesn't mix well. Now let's say you finished your pizza, you finished your breadsticks, you finished your drink. It's okay to have a plain donut afterwards because
I give you that.
after you've swallowed everything, no homo, after you've swallowed it all, it doesn't.
Hey, you gotta put that. Hey, this is 2023. It's
Whatever.
2023. You can't be saying no homo. You gotta say pause.
Pause. Wait, that's what.
Pause.
Pause. Okay, pause.
Yeah, pause.
Yeah, but that's the thing. After you've finished your meal, it's okay to grab something afterwards. You can grab candy. You can eat cereal after you've finished your main meal. Why? Because you're not eating it in the middle of your main meal. It doesn't, as long as you're not mixing it, it is okay. It is okay. Like, imagine someone eating a pizza and then having a bowl of cereal at the same time. It just doesn't mix. It doesn't mix. So take your plain donut out of my freaking meal. Leave it out. Put it as an afterthought. Like you said, a month later, 2 months later, they could have added as a little teaser, just like the DLC was.
They did that with Euphoria. Where everybody was waiting for like the next season. It was taking forever. Then they're like, you know what? Let's give you all a Christmas episode. And I heard it was just 2 characters in a restaurant or something. Guess what? Y'all could have did that with The Last of Us. Had Left Behind come out like maybe 2 months after or something. You know, that'd have been cool.
Yeah.
But just to have it like right in the middle, like it's needed, especially after we see Joel, you know, possibly dying. I was just like I said, I love the adaptation. I love how they did it. You know what I'm saying? It felt just like they had the masks, they had the photo booth, they had everything that I love. It is something that just wasn't gonna work well as a TV episode, especially since y'all had all this going on, and then the show was already 9 episodes to begin with. So it was just ill timing.
Well,
yeah, it was ill timing.
I don't think not only that. Is there was the part at the beginning where Joel's basically saying, you got to go. You got to go back to Tommy. You got to get his help. You got to leave me alone. You got to leave me. She gets up. She heads up the stairs. She walks out the door. Then we get the flashback. All of a sudden, that pointless flashback, that almost entire hour of that pointless flashback, we get back to Riley. Ellie. Gosh dang it. Why the heck do we get back
One is black, one is white. Come on.
No, one is Blasian and one is white.
Is she?
Yeah. Yeah. But we get back to Ellie, and then she starts rummaging around for needle, thread. Honestly, duct tape would have worked fine. You tape around the entirety of it. It would have been easier, quicker fix than.
But did she have duct tape in there?
You remember how easy it was to find duct tape in the game?
Motherfucker, this is the TV show though. In that case, Joel would be sitting there.
You remember how to make
the
the nail bomb, right?
Oh fuck yeah! We still haven't gotten a nail bomb yet.
It was a glass jar, nails, and a duct tape lid with a bit of the gunpowder. That's the mixture for it. Yeah. So you have duct tape. That would have worked fine, but. That's the thing I didn't like, is because with how powerful it is, where she starts out alone, months later, they're literally showing you that Joel's going to be fine. They're pushing the fact that he's going to be fine. It's not the part where he falls off the horse and then you see her months later alone on the horse hunting. It's just, I'm trying to find a redemption for this episode, but it literally doesn't have one. I'm trying to find.
So far, it's the weakest episode. It wasn't needed. I hate to say it, it wasn't needed.
Yeah, I mean, I'm
gonna still get an episode of 9.5 out of 10 because I'm biased.
Yeah, you're supposed to agree with me on this one, but it's just
fuck that. I'm biased.
Yeah, the episode. There are things they could have done to make it relevant. Honestly, they could have split this into several different partial pieces to start at the beginning of each episode, so you get a glimpse of Ellie's life beforehand. Honestly, I think that would have been nice, seeing Ellie in training, seeing her alone, and then we get a glimpse of her meeting Riley for the first time, and then we get a glimpse of Riley leaving her in like another cold open, since they got rid of him entirely, so that way they could have led up to this point where it's at least we get some kind of character development, instead of seeing Ellie alone beating up another girl and then trying to come up with a rational reason as to why she beat up that girl. Captain Wong talking to her, trying to give her, oh, you could be the leader of these people here, or I can give you grunt work. And it's just like, oh, I want to be the smart, I want to be the keys. It's just like that whole dialogue really served no purpose. It didn't really flush out the world anymore. I would have liked it to. I mean, if you're going to go that far back, at least show us how the the ins and outs function, all I saw was that they were basically the Fireflies, a terrorist group. The people in charge, they're fascists, but they're still trying to make it run properly. I was on Ellie's side with her discussion of the whole thing, because even though they're corrupt, every government's corrupt, even now. So in the face of it all, it was just like, at least they're trying to keep order, because we saw a visual of what happened when the people take over. We saw that in the previous episode, where she had literally destroyed and killed all the people due to her actions of revenge.
Oh, you talking about what's her name?
Yeah.
Man, by the way, that was an awesome episode.
Yeah.
That was a great episode.
We need another bloater. Another bloater.
That bloater was getting one hitter quitters.
Yeah.
What a great episode.
And then freaking Tommy lost his head. The voice of the original Tommy. Yeah.
Right. My nigga.
Yeah. So
yeah, he was down though. He was down. He's like, fuck, I'm going after that. But we sit there back checking.
But we have to, because it was better. It was much better.
This is episode I probably would not watch again. I'd watch the Bill and Frank episode. I'd watch the Bill and Frank episode before I watch this one.
Yeah, but if you remember, even in the game, they were chased by several dozen infected.
Yeah, I knew he wasn't gonna get that.
Not one. They were taken out by one infected.
Hey, that one infected was the MVP. That boy came out the gate.
If anything, it should have been a little girl. That creepy one from the freaking SUV. Now that I could see getting the drop on people, because that would just be breaking bones. Yeah, but
I was just like, wait a minute,
that big giant target. Yeah, the big giant, because that SUV freaking girl infected. That was freaking out of the Grudge. Really, the way she crawled through it give you nightmares. And the fact that she was a white girl at one point, just makes her more creepy. You got to admit.
Oh my god.
You got to admit.
Oh my god. Don't let Sam and Henry go against her. Don't you dare touch her.
Yeah. But that's the thing.
I don't know why that got me thinking about. I don't know why that got me thinking about Blackish with the little white girl in the elevator.
Oh yeah. You don't. Yeah. I gotta say though, that one movie I told you to watch. No, wait, that's not that movie. Never mind. I'm thinking of something different now. I'm thinking of a different movie that was actually good. Yeah, but
I think we're going in circles. But honestly, as for like the fifth time, love the DLC, loved every minute of it. But for an episode of the show, nah, it wasn't enough. They could have kept that.
It really did remove the story. It took away from the story. Now I'm just hoping that they're gonna figure out a way to do the rest of it better. Because if they're really thinking that this is good storytelling, adding this in the middle, and it's the weakest one out of every single one.
Yep,
mainly because even the other filler episodes it's a Naruto filler, where there's 20 minutes to the episode and only like 5 minutes of it or 1 minute of it is relevant. So it's a Naruto filler episode. So there's one piece that's relevant. This one, nothing. Absolutely nothing is relevant in this.
No, I was cool with the episode where it was episode 4 before they meet Sam and Henry at the end. I was cool with that episode. Not much happened. Just a little bit happened, because then they give you a reason as to why they're being hunted. You see them bonding more and all that. So
they explained that in 5, not number 1.
That's true. That's true. But I still feel like episode 4 is still a good episode. It's still, people can watch it. It's still enjoyable.
Yeah, but it's the Naruto filler.
It's not like it has nothing to do with anything. It has something to do with just, you could have added that in with that other episode. Yeah,
it's a Naruto filler where it's just that the one clip that is relevant to the actual story that makes it progress and makes people want to watch it. But
episode 7 is the weakest of them all so far. Episode 7 is the weakest. It's pointless, damn near. You could sit there and say, oh well, Riley and so you could have used that somewhere else.
Yeah, I don't think adding Riley added anything to Ellie's character. No. It really didn't. I didn't feel that in the DLC. The DLC is for people who basically beat the game and wanted to play something new before 2 came out.
We get that, she lost someone and she's not trying to go through that again. The last person she loved and cared for was Riley. and now the person that she loves and cares for is Joel. So she's not about to let that person be gone. So she's going to do everything in her power to keep him here. We get that, but again, we watched all that. All y'all having fun playing Mortal Kombat. Motherfucker, I could play Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, but, I have it here. I have the system right there, and Mortal Kombat actually plugged in. Yeah, freaking Sega.
It was just pointless. Let's not keep going on. The episode was pointless.
Yeah, but going forward, I mean, David, they better not screw David up.
I'm afraid. Yes, I was talking to Fox about that. I'm afraid because David is my favorite villain of this game.
Oh, not just of the game, like in general, he's a good villain.
And he's voiced by Nolan North, fucking Nathan Drake from Uncharted.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, man, he does amazing in this, man. Like, oh my god. So, and then I think that we're actually going to get more of David because you see, like, they have. I don't know if you saw the commercial for it. But they have him with his group and all of that, and it seemed like I don't know. It seemed like he may be like one of those God type guys or whatever.
Oh, okay. Marilyn Manson? No, the Manson family. What's that guy? Charles Manson.
Manson. But we're getting the fight with them in the burning down building and shit like that.
Where they have to work together. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
See, I don't know. Are we getting that though? Are they gonna have to work together?
We have to.
They got to. They got to. At this point, I know that I always say, like, Last of Us, it's not about, them just going to get infected. It's about just the world they're in. It's about the interaction, the character, but at the same time, y'all got to throw in some action. Y'all got to throw in some clickers. Do not sit there and have her meet David and they're not working together to take out some clickers and shit. If so, come on, bruh.
Yeah, especially
y'all gotta
it was that part in the game where you basically meet him. You're having that discussion over the fire. You're gonna know you're about to kill each other. And then the clickers show up.
Yeah.
That is where it goes insane because you have to join forces with this person who wants to kill you. You want to kill them, but you need each other to survive the infected. It's so awesome. It's one of those things where
I can't wait to play this game. I can't wait to play that game.
Awesome. It's so well.
That chapter is the best chapter in the whole game.
Yep.
It's in the whole game.
Because you're alone at the time. You're alone as Ellie at the time, and you're scared for your life. And right when you are about to die as Ellie, guess what? The next chapter starts.
And then Joel pops up.
Yep. It's like, oh, he's alive. He's doing all right.
Bro.
He's good.
Oh, my God. That torture scene, which I saw when they had the trailer for the season, I did see him with a pipe getting ready to kill somebody with it. So I hope we get that whole torture scene, bro. Ooh.
Yeah, so
man, they better do it right.
I haven't been seeing the trailers for the upcoming episodes because I'm kind of I don't like trailers to begin with. I watch them. I think for the the movies I have been watching recently, it helps out because I don't know the language to begin with, and it gives me some kind of context, especially when a lot of those trailers try not to include anything in the actual trailer. So it makes it even more entertaining when I watch the movie because I have no clue going into it, or I forget the trailer altogether.
Yeah, but they have to do the chapter justice. It has to, because I think
this is the one they can't drop the ball on.
I don't think it's an hour though. That's the thing. I think it's like 50 minutes. So I'm just like, how are you going to squeeze all that into less than an hour? Well, to Ellie meeting them, joining together. Then he realized, like, hey, yo, you're the one I'm after. Then she gets captured. Then Joel pops up, and I'm pretty sure it's not going to be him taking out dozens of guys. Just probably catching those two, torturing them, and then finding his way. We're probably not even going to get all of Joel. We're probably going to get Joel waking up, the torture scene, and then Joel coming at the end to get Ellie after she kills David.
Yeah, but what chapter would come after that?
That's when we get to the finale. Because that's what happened.
That's 8. We're going to 8. We're already
this is episode
7.
8. You see what I'm saying?
Oh my gosh!
You see what I'm saying?
7 really
That's why I didn't like the episode because it felt like everything is getting rushed.
Yeah, because I was thinking it was going to be. I don't know why I didn't think. Honestly, I feel like only 5 chapters have passed because
Dude, I keep thinking. I'm like, is we on episode 5 or 6?
Because they're brushing a lot of them have been filler. That's why your mind thinks that. A lot of them have been pointless to the story. So your mind glosses over them and goes like, "Oh, that isn't one of the episodes. Oh, that isn't one of the. Oh, that was just a small part of the." It combines them together in your mind. So I was thinking, okay, we're gonna get Ellie with David working together. Then all of a sudden, Ellie's going to get close to dying. Then the following chapter will be Joel getting out and helping out. But no.
I'm sorry, David, a character like David, man, y'all got to give him a... If y'all gave Homegirl 2 episodes, fuck that. Ain't no way y'all going to give David 1 episode.
Honestly, David should be the main character of the episode. They should start with him primarily. And then he runs into Ellie. They start having their conversation. Then he knows who she is.
I get you. I like that. Yeah.
I like that aspect because then it's like we get his perspective, kind of. If we could actually go back in for a kind of cold open a few months to where he meets or finds the body, it could do that, and then they start
his friend and
yeah, and then they start a hunt.
I got a feeling it's not going to happen.
Oh, of course not. They're going to do something
they could have easily gave David 2 fucking episodes. They gave her 2 episodes, like.
But why couldn't they do that? They gave us a filler.
Like,
they decided to give us the freaking DLC content episode, which serves no purpose.
We did not need that. I'd rather have 2 episodes of David, the fucking best, one of the best characters in the franchise, and the best chapter of the whole game.
Oh, but guess what? We found out how she got her pun book.
Yeah.
As relevant as that was apparently supposed to be, who cares where it came from? Those who played the game or the DLC content already knew, but it wasn't relevant. Yeah. It didn't matter. Who cares? Oh my gosh, it's just...
All right, I gotta wrap this up because we're going in circles.
Yeah,
but thank y'all for watching. Any other...
I'm just worried now that I know that this was actually episode 7. There's only 2 episodes left. Only 50 minutes for the next episode, which has
episode
David.
9 is 43 minutes.
They've screwed up. They've screwed up. I'm just calling it now. They have screwed up royally.
We'll see. I'm gonna try to keep my hopes. I'm low expectations. I'm not gonna say my high hope. Yeah. Expectation is because David's only going to have 1 episode, and it's not even like an hour 15. It's like fucking 50 minutes.
Well, remember, this is a video game adaptation. They started strong, and they were better than most others that have done it. And then all of a sudden, they started.
I'm going to look up how long that episode is now.
All of a sudden, they just started running themselves into the ground. It's like they lost their momentum. Or they just stopped caring about the story itself. I was excited when it was like the original writers were working on the process. You could see their hand in the original 3 episodes. Not so much.
Absolutely.
It's like the 4th and 5th episode were split for some reason to just add a bit more content. But why would you split that and then shorten David's time? That doesn't make any sense. David's like an iconic villain.
Okay, so of the episodes written, because this Craig Mazin dude is the guy that did Chernobyl, which I keep hearing that's an amazing show.
Yeah.
Neil Druckmann wrote the first episode.
Yeah.
Motherfucker. He wrote the first episode. He wrote episode 7, and he did episode 9.
Well. So the first episode that just was relevant to the world. Honestly, the opening of the first episode was the best part. The best part of so far the whole series so far. That and then in the Philippines, Vietnamese.
Oh, that's number 2. That's episode 2.
Yeah, I know. But those two cold opens were the best part of this entire thing.
She said, "Bomb they ass."
Yeah.
She said, "Bomb." I was like, "Damn."
Yeah, can someone drop me at home so I could be with my family? Because she knew she was gonna die. Well, let's face it, they wouldn't bomb their own people yet. Wait till it spreads further, and then you'd start bombing when it's too late.
Yeah, I was trying to see how long. 51 minutes for the next episode, and then 43 minutes for the last episode. I was just like, oh, but we got an hour for this episode.
Show David some respect, man. It's like they don't realize that David's like the quintessential villain in storytelling. He's like absolutely lovable as a character. You are forced to fight against him, yet you are afraid of him, but respect him. And then you have to work together, and then you have to fight against each other after you work together. That's a quintessential, like, perfect villain.
And also, the dude that played David looked like a fucking pedophile. I was looking at him, I was just like, man, I like the. They could have got Walton Goggins.
Yep, he would have been a much better. That's the only person I could.
Better better. What was it?
More charismatic.
Charismatic, you know, that smile. You know what I'm saying? I was just like, and all of a sudden he could just
play a creep
just like that, and you're just like, oh shit.
And then he's an absolute creep. It had a much better for the role.
Watch him in Justified. You will love him in Justified. Great show. That's one of his best, probably his best role. And then you will see what I mean is having him.
Remember, David. He was also in crap. What's that movie? What's
Hateful Eight?
Crap.
Django.
No, the bikers. The bikers. What's that called?
Bikers.
Yeah, the biker gang.
Oh my God, Sons of Anarchy.
Sons of Anarchy. Yeah.
I already know who you're talking about.
Yeah.
Venus.
Yeah. You remember?
I can't believe he actually got in that.
Yeah, but
he
like that's the thing. He's a great actor. He can portray really any role he's given, and he can play the creep. He can play the creep. He can play charismatic.
Walton Goggins would have easily killed that, but I haven't seen this guy's portrayal of David yet, so we're gonna see next week.
We're not gonna get much time with it. That's for sure.
Nah.
So that's yeah, but we'll get there when we get there.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure.
I got a toothache, so let's wrap this up.
Yeah, we'll probably get to that point.
Yeah.
Thank you all for watching, and those who are listening, thank you all for listening.
And we'll see y'all next week, and hopefully the next 2 episodes will be better. And as always, we'll see y'all next time. Peace.
Toodles.